Oh, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to not another BMX Streets video, but also sort of a BMX Streets video. We're playing Mashbox today, and we'll go over what Mashbox is in just a minute, but this is basically where the next BMX Streets update is being made, at least physics-wise, and it just came out on Steam, and you can go download it right now for free. To help get a better idea of what this actually is, let me just go ahead and read the description on Steam so we kind of get a better idea of what exactly Mashbox is. Mashbox is a prototype sandbox game from an indie team offering endless creative possibilities. Be part of its evolution with regular updates and help shape the tech foundation for future games. Dive in and influence the development of something special. So this is why I say it's like kind of a BMX Streets video, kind of not. Like, this is not BMX Streets, this is Mashbox. But this is what he's been working on for the last little bit, trying to get BMX Streets feeling a lot better. And honestly, you can probably tell by looking at it. Obviously, we're on a full suspension bike. It's super bouncy. It feels a lot more stable. It feels a lot more consistent. You kind of know what to expect when you run into certain things or you do certain tricks. There's no surprises in this really all that much. And it feels way smoother. Something that I immediately noticed coming from BMX Streets is you carry your momentum a lot better in this. I feel like a lot of the times in Streets, if it's doing a 180, you can pretty much initially feel your speed decrease, and the longer you fakie, you just feel your speed come down and down and down. And so that was like something that really broke the immersion in Streets for me. And I mean, it's nowhere to be seen in here. Like, you just feel like your bike has a lot more weight to it, which I think is a big part of this physics update. Is the weight of the bike and the character is actually really accurate to real life, or I guess it wasn't really in Streets. And the manualing just feels so much smoother. You just keep your momentum a lot. It makes sense, right? Like, if you pivot really fast, you're gonna get a fast spin out, or if you pivot slow, you're gonna spin a little bit slower. And speaking of spins, I mean, you can just spin so much smoother in this game. Like, getting like a nice 3 like that looks realistic, and it's not like a fast 3 and then you stop, or like a really like twitchy spin. Like, you can get really nice looking rotations, and I just feel like the control of it is so much better. And yeah, the manuals, like, it just flows. That's like the main thing I've noticed playing this, is everything just flows so much better. Why we have a full suspension, a dirt jumper, and a scooter and not a BMX in here, I'm not 100% sure. And that's another thing I noticed. Ice picks, we can only do manuals, and it is button activated right now. But this just feels so much more solid than it does in BMX Streets. And it's just consistent. Like, I just know it's gonna lock in and it's gonna work, and I know what to expect, which just isn't really the case with BMX Streets sometimes. I feel like it changes on feature to feature in that game, whereas on this, like, no matter what I'm doing, it's always gonna work out the same for the most part. But just going back to how this feels compared to BMX Streets and how things are consistent and they just kind of make sense, this is something that Mash showed off in his Discord and in one of those interviews he did with Uncle Bones, where he was doing like nose bonks and stuff off like walls like that. Like, you can do that in BMX Streets, but it's like a 1% chance that it looks anywhere near as smooth as that. And it's interesting, like, as long as you time it right, I mean, that's... Okay, well, here I go, eating my own words. Okay, let's hit a quick reset on that. And let's try that. Okay, we just barely bonked it. Oh, we still knocked down all the cards. But yeah, stuff like that, just like, it's just consistent. Like, if I come at that at the same speed in the same rate every time, like, oh my god, now I can't. I'm new to Mashbox, guys. I'm new to this. yeah, just like it's gonna work damn near every single time, and it's just consistent. It feels good. It feels like how it would in real life. Okay, that time we're bunking the bottom bracket off the card. I guess something else we're seeing in here is just like physics-based objects that we can interact with. What I really hope this is kind of showing off is that there's potentially movable objects within the game, or just like physics-based objects we can interact with. Yeah, even the transition feels quite a bit different. I mean, riding transition in BMX Streets, there is like a lot of automation going on. The game pretty much rides transition for you. Whereas this, it's all up to you what happens. I have to imagine we're still going to get some sort of, assistance with the transition, just because like it's really hard to hit like a nice air. Like I'm not even hopping. I'm basically just like pulling my wheel up as I air, like for the manual. Oh, big peg smack. Drop Smith, but I haven't really played around with this too much. I've only spent a couple minutes riding the transition, because I mean, the main thing I really like playing in BMX Streets is I like doing grinds and manual combos, and it's kind of hard to get that in here because there's no like grind positions to position the bike into a Smith or a feeble or anything like that. So you kind of just have to turn your body into it. But like you just saw, like we got a Smith Ice 1, and I can do those pretty consistently. But just the way the bike just interacts with all the obstacles, ledges, and physics-based objects that move around and stuff, like it just feels like how it should, honestly. It just feels right. It feels a lot more consistent. I think that if I had to like sum up like what about this feels better than BMX Streets, I'd say this just feels consistent. But yeah, just manuals. Oh man, it's crazy how much flowier they feel. I don't know what that was, but yeah, doing like quick little manual pivots and stuff like that. It just feels so much smoother. Like doing a 180 manual, cab manual, like 180 or 3. Like look at how flowy it looks in this. It just looks a lot more natural. And like if we had a mini hop, like I'm really interested to see how nose manuals would work in this. Hopefully we get nose manuals soon, and hopefully he changes the input from one button to like using the right stick. I think the most interesting part about this game right now, and honestly why you should download it, especially if you don't have BMX Streets, is Mash said in his Discord server, because I was asking him about it, like how far is this going to become BMX Streets before it's implemented into BMX Streets? This will get to the same level of riding that BMX Streets will have. The only difference is we will not have a character in this game. We won't have the pro riders, and we won't have the character riding the bike, because then why would anyone buy BMX Streets when you could just download Mashbox for free and have, all the mod maps that we can get, and yeah, have the BMX Streets experience for free. So as far as I'm aware, and what he said, and this stuff can change, he tends to change his mind quite a bit. As far as I'm aware, this will get fully fleshed out BMX, biking wise, trick wise, as much as BMX Streets is going to be. Like that's like kind of the whole purpose of this game in general, is it's a sandbox for them to like build and test tools with the community and implement them into their games, whether it's BMX Streets or whatever comes after BMX Streets, whether that's a BMX Streets 2. I mean, hell, maybe he's making a mountain bike game. We've got a mountain bike here. But anyways, guys, I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts if you've played this. What are your thoughts on Mash putting this game out? I mean, it is for free, and it just seems like he just wants a separate spot to really test this stuff in order to get feedback and implement it into his games, BMX Streets being one of them. I don't really know what else he's got planned for during or after BMX Streets. You can actually customize your little dice guy if you want in your bike a little bit. It's just a randomized customization, because obviously that kind of stuff is like not super important. I know he has said that oh, there's the overpegs. He has said there is some slight customization in here, just because he wants to improve the customization in Streets a little bit too, I'm pretty sure, and for other games, and just build it better and implement it into whatever's next, right? Yeah, the manual pivots just feel 10 times better than they do in Streets. Like, definitely looks a lot more like a bike compared to the full suspension, but the steering in it just feels kind of drifty, and so do the manuals a little bit. It just doesn't feel as solid as the full suspension bike. And you can even see there, like, my momentum is somewhat not carried on some spins. Like, it starts pulling me in the opposite direction there. Yeah, like, that's not anywhere near as fluid as the full suspension. It still feels really good, but yeah, you can see right there, like, it's just a little off. And yeah, I think that's probably gonna do it for this video, guys. So yeah, if you've played this, you know, let me know how you think. Let me know your thoughts. And just trying to get a thumbnail real quick. Oh no, just want a thumbnail. Let's get a thumbnail, please. That might be a thumbnail. Okay. Let me just come over here for the thumbnail too. Let me just get it straight on. Yeah. Okay. Maybe that'll work. Yeah. It's not okay. Anyways, guys, I don't know why you're still watching.